Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It hasn't just finished because the game was last night. Couldn't get the video out. I had to wait till this morning because there's a lot to unpack, from the season, because our season is done. That's right, our season is done right now. So we might as well just kind of get this off our chest and get through the last few games in the Premier League with ease and just look forward to something else. Maybe look forward to seeing some of the kids that have been on the bench all season do something. But yeah, we're out of the Champions League. We played against PSG yesterday in the second leg of the semi-finals at Paris, and even though we threw the kitchen sink at it, but then we still went out 2-1 on aggregate, 3-1. And I think PSG did deserve it. I mean, you look at their squad, you look at their team, they've got like a complete team. They've got strikers, they've got Dembele, they've got Kvaratskhelia, they've got men, And this is what we were asking Arsenal to do, even in the January transfer window. And none of that was done. Incredible. The January transfer window still blows my mind. It's been how many months and still I can't get over it. But yeah, let's get into the game. Starting lineup showed up. David Raya in goal. Yuri Timber on the right. William Saliba, right centre half. Jakub Kiwior, left centre half. Miles Lewis-Kelly, left back. Partey, Rice, Odegaard in the middle of the park. And up front was Bukayo Saka on the right. Mikel Merino down the middle, makeshift striker. And then Gabriel Martinelli on the left. And we started the game really well. The game, first 10 minutes, I just felt like we were going to score. I was very sure that we were going to win yesterday. I was so certain, at least maybe take it into extra time. Because our form in the Champions League, especially away form, has been incredible this season. And I might as well just say it now, like, we've had a good run in the Champions League this season. I'm really proud of the boys, what they've done, but still a lot to talk about. First 10 minutes, pressure, all the throwing, set pieces, Partey, channeling his Stoke energy. By Stoke, I mean Stoke City Football Club, when they had Delap. That was always, throwing or making those long throws that threatened teams, And yesterday, Partey did threaten, he had one of the throw-ins, land for Martinelli, but Martinelli, with a tame effort, straight at the keeper, saved by Donnarumma. So we couldn't get any joy, but then, we were looking good. Everything was looking up. I thought we were about to score. But then one moment changed the game. One moment changed the game, and that came 15 minutes in. Odegaard loses the ball as we were building up play, and he loses the ball, and then just like that, PSG go on a run. They go on a run. Eventually, we kind of defend it, but that changed the tide of the game. The first 15 minutes, putting all that pressure, and just that one move, PSG were on us. They were pressing like crazy right after that. And then Saliba as well felt the pressure because he goes and gives the ball away. But then we are lucky because Raya makes the save. That was 20 minutes in? And we just couldn't build again because we worked hard without the ball. We were doing so well without the ball, even in the first, and that was us trying to regain that momentum we had in the first 15 minutes. From then on, it was just downhill. Working hard without the ball, but then as soon as we get the ball, we give it away again. Because of that pressure we felt. We didn't go into this game relaxed. We went into this game feeling pressured. That's why I saw clips of Miles Lewis-Kelly, headphones with his phone, trying to look relaxed and calm. I could tell man wasn't relaxed at all. And it showed yesterday, It showed he had the worst game I've ever seen him, And it was just aggravating. aggravating because that once that ball was given away, the tide of the game just changed. But like I said, try to work, and get the ball back, but then again, just give it away. And what actually then ruined the game, or the downfall, when the game went downhill, was when Rice takes a heavy touch, Kvaratskhelia, on him already, and then Rice has to foul him, gets a yellow card, and from that set piece, we concede. We couldn't clear our lines. Partey couldn't clear, heads the ball back away from goal against the run of play. Totally, PSG caught us against the run of play. Heads the ball back, and then, Fabian Ruiz, with the deftest of touch, takes the ball away from Martinelli with his chest, and then strikes with his left foot, a worldie that just beats Raya, takes a bit of a deflection off Saliba's thigh, I think, but then it was literally unsavable. And we were 1 goal down, but on aggregate, 2 goals down, which meant, a higher, task, or a higher mountain to climb. And the game, for me, that was just that sinking feeling. Like, I was just thinking, like, how do we come back? We've never really done that this season, come back from 2 goals down. I don't even think there are much games that we've come back from 1 goal down, let alone 2 goals down. And I thought this was, for me, it was just like Newcastle all over again. Yeah, so 1-0 up, PSG 1-0 up, and they scored in the 20th minute or so. 10 minutes later, we were under pressure again, and we were lucky to escape. We were lucky. If not for Declan Rice, we would have been 2 goals down at that point, because it was like a last-minute tackle. He comes in, is it Desire Edoué or Desire Edoué? I actually think his name is Desire, but everyone calls him Desire. Anyway, not the point, but then he's got a chance. He's about to bury the ball, and Declan Rice, out of nowhere, just comes in with a last-minute tackle, gets the ball away from him. And we were lucky to still be, in the game at that point. You can consider us still in the game at that point. And then we went on a charge right after that. But then, what were we lacking? A striker. Yeah, we couldn't hide anymore. Yesterday exposed us. Yesterday exposed us that we didn't do our business and we didn't deserve to go through. Only if you do the work do you deserve to go through. It's like an exam comes out, you've been scaling all the tests, all the assignments, because it's within your ballpark of what you know. But then you're thinking like, oh, I'll just go into this exam and not really, do any preparations for it. Guess what's gonna happen? What happened yesterday? You're gonna fail to get through. Merino had a couple of chances, good chances, really good ones as well. One, he just kind of overhits it. He took it one time, he kind of overhits it, but then you can see that we're lacking strikers. If we had a striker, a proper striker, who knows? We may have buried it, may have missed it as well. But yesterday was glaring that we do not have strikers. Even with Havertz and Jesus, all season we've been like, oh no, these guys are not doing the business this year. Let alone to when they're both injured. And then we have new signing for the midfield position to cover as an 8 or 6, come in and trying to do the business as a number 9, as a centre forward. It's impossible, man. We've been getting away with it, but then yesterday, not anymore. And before halftime, Saka, you can see Saka was the only attacking threat we really had up there. Merino did try, but he's not a striker. So sometimes, he wasn't making the runs. And Saka was putting in great balls down the line, down the middle. But no one was making runs. Martinelli, you can see I haven't mentioned him till now. He had a great first 10 minutes. Even though he missed that chance that Partey put on the plate for him, But he was missing chances left, right, and center. Beat Hakimi in the first 10 minutes, but then just couldn't take on the man again. He's just disappeared from the game. Every time Saka put a ball down the middle, Martinelli was nowhere to be found. Hakimi found him out, and Martinelli just disappeared the whole game. That was all we just got 10 minutes of Martinelli, and then he was done. Found out, like I said. Yeah, but if imagine we had a proper striker yesterday. All those chances Saka was putting in, at least we would have been, 1-1 before half-time, and then the game is on. But then, yeah, we go into the half, still 1 goal down. Second half, same old story. I'm just going to breeze through the second half so we can really talk about, the football club. Same story, second half, 16 minutes. Guess what? Ref, blows his whistle and he's going to the monitor. And I'm like, wait, who gets this call? Because obviously it was like a potential penalty. Hoping, fingers crossed, kept my fingers crossed. I was like, I hope Arsenal gets this penalty, but nope. Ended up being Miles Lewis-Kelly who handled the ball, and we concede a penalty. Great penalty save though. Raya finally saves 1 penalty. The whole season, out of all the penalties we've had, this is the one time he actually saved it. And it's the one time it counted. Other times, yeah, I'm sure it would have counted. But then this one, we needed it because we needed to get through the semi-finals. He makes the save. Great save. However, 10 minutes later, we concede again, the second goal, which just put the nail right on top of the coffin. Just nailed the coffin. We were done at that point. And it was Partey again. Failed to clear his lines. In the first goal, remember, Partey heads the ball. Didn't head it clear, but, I can't really blame him for the first one because it's against a run of play, and, the way he gets contact with the ball, only if he gets good contact does it kind of get further away. But then the second one, he tries to kind of like control the ball in our penalty box, and then he gets robbed of it. And Hakimi comes in and just scores. Raya probably could have done a little bit better, but then, yeah, game was done at that point. Game was done. 75th minute, Bukayo Saka scores, and, at that point, 2-1. But then, 4 minutes later, he needed to score that second chance. 4 minutes later, gets another chance, a better chance even, but he just fails to bury it. Calafiori sends in this ball, wicked ball, just right in front of him, and the keeper is already out of the equation. But then, with his touch, he places the ball right over the net, and yeah, that chance goes begging, and we were out of the game. At that point, there was no coming back because, like I said, we threw the kitchen sink at it. The guys played well. Trossard came on, did much better than Martinelli, and you just wondered, could he have come on a little bit earlier? But yeah, game was done, and just like that, we were out of the Champions League. Now, a couple of minutes to just talk about, this season. This season is a whole lot more frustrating than last season. Last season, we should have won the league. Because 2 points away from winning the league? We should have won the league last season. And this season, as far as we did come, especially in the Champions League, I'm proud of the boys, but then this season was a lot more frustrating and aggravating. Those have been the words I think I've used for most games that we've played this season. Aggravating. We just couldn't get things over the line. And it's the reason why is because we never really did our business. How did we go through that summer transfer window and not even think of getting any attacking threat? I mean, Kvaratskhelia was available in the summer. We could have paid that 75-80 million. We had that money. I mean, Calafiori and Merino, as much as I appreciate Merino, but then we could have actually sacrificed that for Kvaratskhelia, and that would have actually come in handy because if you look at the season, Marino was injured for a good part of the first half of it. And then Calafiori has, like I said, he's a pretender. Until he shows that he's reliable, he's like a Tomiyasu for me. Like another is like Tomiyasu part 2. Until he shows that he can play a whole season, not injured, and be consistent in his performance, then he might just get out that pretender box for me. But right now, still a pretender. So we couldn't go for Kvaratskhelia in the summer. And then there were other options also that we could have gone for in the summer. Mamouche, that, went to Manchester City. What happened? Then again, I guess that's why Heads did roll at Arsenal. That's why Edu had to leave, January transfer window, same story, same thing. Even worse. It felt as bad as summer was. January, I can't even tell which one was what. January felt worse, but then I think in the summer, just not doing that business in the summer came back to bite us big time. January, Saka was out. Jesus was out. Havertz was the only option we had. And the club, even though we were still in the Champions League, still in the FA Cup, still in the Carabao Cup, still within touching distance from Liverpool, we did not do any business. How is that? Anyway, it's becoming a rant now, but you get the picture. And it came back to bite us. So what could we expect? Yeah, we got what we deserved. So let's see what we do this summer transfer window. I've got eyes on the summer transfer window. Still not buying any merch. Not buying any merch. I thought this season I'll get the merch because I really like the red jersey with the blue up there. I love that jersey. I love it. I've even tried it out in the store, the extra large, and it fit perfect. It fit perfect. I was thinking, oh man, this will look so good. But then, no. No, not till this club shows me that we are ready to win stuff. And this summer transfer window is really it for Mikel Arteta. Yeah, I have to talk about Arteta because as good as he's been and as amazing at the work he's done to get us to where we are today, if we don't do this business and get something over the line next year, and next season, I'm not talking about the Carabao Cup. It's between the FA Cup, which is the least, Champions League, which comes next, or the Premier League. We need to get either one of these three. If we don't get it, for me, Arteta, your days are numbered. And that's facts for me, man. Maybe not facts for the club, because the club doesn't mind. The club is on a different agenda. This summer transfer window will truly tell us what the agenda of the club is. Yeah, enough of the rants. Enough with the videos. Or almost 20 minutes. And I'm still here. Gotta go. Thanks for staying with me all season. Or, well, from when this channel actually started, which wasn't really all season. It started like just before the second half of the season. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I wish you all love and peace as always. Enjoy the rest of your season watching Arsenal with no emotions attached or just nothing waged on, no wages on anything, We'll just observe and see, how the season finishes. I'm just looking forward to seeing some of these younger guys, Butler, Oyedeji, some of these other guys that have been on the bench. I don't want to see Sterling no more. Sterling shouldn't play one more game for Arsenal. Sterling is done. Don't want to see him playing any game. I'd rather see guys come from the youth team. I'd rather see an 11-year-old, play instead of Sterling. So, yeah. Have a great one and see you all over the weekend. Take care.